So I'm glad we bring up 401ks because the 401k topic is the big word in the boomer generation. All right. Everyone getting into that retirement system right now and transitioning into the retirement industry, or let's just say transitioning into the retirement phase of their lives, right? 401ks are a big thing because this is basically was made for a personalized pension. And what I mean by that is you were putting a lump sum of money away, right? And saving and investing and maybe getting tax deferral growth for down the road to use, okay, after you retire. Because the 401k came about. Why? Because pensions became less of a thing, right? So a lot of the companies said, hey, we're not going to offer pensions anymore. Well, now let's offer some 401ks or some retirement plans to benefit the employees down the road when they do retire. Why I think 401ks are so important is because now you have the ability, not like pensions, to be able to grow with the market and really accumulate and have more of a say on what those funds do when you do retire. And for you retirees out there, I'm sure you're all thinking to yourselves, man, the 401k has done me very, very well. That's my asset. That's where I put the majority of my funds my entire life. And that is where the majority of funds are for the next retirement generation is in those 401k assets. But I have a question for everyone out there, and this is something that I think no one thinks about, right? What's the 401k meant for when you do retire or when you're planning to retire? Even if you actually create a good amount of capital or funds inside that 401k. And the answer, and I'm going to give you guys the answer to this question, is it is to roll over that 401k. The 401k is only meant to give you a certain amount of options to invest in, right? So maybe some mutual funds or whatever that company or whatever the company goes with or correlates with to give you capital appreciation and tax deferral growth until you retire. Well, I'm sure plenty of you know out there, the 401k does not give you the unlimited options that you have in the market, right? So they give you what's called a rollover, okay? And the rollover is super, super important. And I think what everyone doesn't understand is when you start working at a different job and you leave your 401k inside of that 401k, it's just not the right thing to do, right? You're giving yourself less options, right? You're limited now to what you can do, how you can utilize the capital in there to accumulate interest or to accumulate tax deferral growth. And I think the tricky part to that is everyone always thinks, well, David, where do I put it? It's a 401k. I don't want to pay taxes on it. And sadly, no one educates. And we talk about education all the time because education is the most important thing that you can have when you retire. And this is why I push so much for every client when they come in and you talk to me. And if we set an appointment, you will see that on the first appointment is really educating on what you have. Right. I'm going to ask you questions, why you have it, right? You have a 401k. Well, what do you think this is for? Okay. How do you think it affects you in the road and down the road? And what are you going to use it for? What do you plan to use it for? The answer should be retirement, right? But what many people don't realize is that you're actually hurting yourself when you're leaving it inside of that 401k and you leave a company. Okay. Like I said before, it gives you less versatility, less options. And now you have less of an option to grow. And really, I think the part that hits people the most is this. Leaving money in a 401k is not going to make you any wealthier. Okay. It's going to sit in the same funds, in the same diversification class, in the same mutual fund or target date fund that fund has in. And that's it. That's all you're going to do. So I think that a lot of people, what they mistaken on is they feel like they're scared to roll it over because they think tax implications. They think, well, it's been there for this long, right? I put it there through a company. I don't know what to do with it. And I'm here to tell you the first person, and I hope this comes out so easily. If you can roll over your 401k, which majority of you can, you need to do it. I don't care if you're still working at the company and you're 59 and a half, maybe you're 62, maybe you're 65 and you're still working. The biggest discrepancy out there is that I should leave my money inside of a 401k. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Now, the company's not going to tell you to move it. Why do you think, Jim, answer this question for everybody. Why do you think the company is not going to tell you to move your money out of the company's funds?
Because it doesn't benefit them.
Because it doesn't benefit them. I love the fact that Jim's learned on this show just as much as a lot of you guys are out there. And this education point, I want to bring to everyone because I'm sure 90% of retirees don't understand the system. And this is where it really gets tricky, okay? No one is out there for you. And on the last episode, on episode 31, we talked about this. We said, look, you have to understand your mind and where you want and your picture of your money and how it wants to work for you. Right. Corporations do not care about you individually. They care about their own pockets. So no one is going to tell you how to move that 401k over. You have to be the person to educate yourself and obviously to come in with someone like me to sit down and teach you how to do that tax efficiently and to give you more options to be able to invest it better, to be able to tax defer growth better than you have right now. The 401k is a good option, but it is not the best option, okay? When you have a 401k, you can utilize that into creating more wealth for you, and I can teach you how to do that, okay? Give me a call today or, any day of the week that you have free. We can set up a free consultation. We sit down, we go over if you have 401k statements. Some of you might even have tons of them. I met 3 clients last week that had over 5 401ks that we had to combine together and roll over. Okay. I can do all this. I can make it super, super simple for you. Give me a call today, guys, at 850-565-1705. Again, that's 850-565-1705.